Hey guys, Lockie here, and welcome to another Road to Recovery with Chelsea Career Mode. So today we start off with a scouting report. As you can see, we get some pretty good ones indeed, including this one, the 77 to 94, can play left back, centre back, or left mid. So that's a pretty good one. And we go to our next one, which is in Brazil, and we don't really get many. That's probably our worst scout, and we don't get really that many but good. But we do get a couple of alright ones. We don't sign anyone, I don't think. We reject a couple of them, but we continue scouting on most of them. That goalkeeper down the bottom, I do sign in the end because he looks quite good. But yeah, that's not too bad of a scouting report. So this is episode number 4, and we've got 2 big away games to start this episode off, including this one against Everton. So we'll be playing the Merseyside team away from home. And it's going to be a very big challenge because Everton are a quality side without a doubt. So here, as you can, they've got their starting 11 will pop up soon. But obviously, we haven't got to the worst. We haven't had the worst start to the season. We've drawn one game and won the other against Burnley. Plus, we beat Ipswich on penalties in the Capital One Cup, but that's not that important. But I've been quite happy with the performance so far, but this could be a challenging two games, which you'll see the next game. Next game is against Manchester City, but as you can see here, it will be at Goodison Park, and apart from a couple of players, including like Bamford, the starting 11 isn't really is really decided, but Bamford's maybe. I want to give Perica a bit of a start as well, but there's Everton's side, and they've got Howard, Coleman, John Stones, the young centre-back, Phil Jagielka, and Arona Kone is up front. So no Lukaku to play against his former club. I'd definitely like to have him now, but as you can see, here's our starting 11, and we do give a start for Marco Marin. So the German will be given a start. Pasalic is at the middle of the park with Marco van Ginkel. Atsu will be coming against his former club, who went on loan to last season. So Sylvain Distin on the bench, obviously Everton legend, hasn't featured for France, so he's quite unlucky not to play for his country, but I don't know what was he do. And to start off the game, we have Chelsea at the first attack, and as Marco Marin gets on the ball, the German does very well to get past defenders. He slides it to Amuro. The Nigerian does really well, sending a low cross, and Patrick Bamford, like the last game against Leicester, gets one of the easiest goals you can possibly get. Another defensive mix-up from the defence, and as you can see here, it's basically the exact same, because on the left, except Amuro was on the left, not Atsu. Look at that, it's in a low cross. Somehow, Phil Jagielka, the captain, doesn't get rid of it. And Paddy Bamford does slide it through, which is a great start for Chelsea. And the crowd was probably extremely surprised because Chelsea were very unlikely to win this one because obviously Everton are a quality side. But that's his second goal in the Premier League. So well played there. But in the 25th minute, as Kone gets on the ball, the Ivory Coast Met striker gets tackled, but he whips in a cross. We failed to deal with it properly, and Lennon should have scored, but as you can see, he just sends the ball wide. But as you can see, right straight away, I try to look at that, that's a poor miss. Could have done better actually. But as you can, if he stopped celebrating and trying to go, as you can see, I try to give it to Nathan Ake, but in the end, what happens is I try to push him up, and as you can see, I make a huge mistake. I try to go to Ake, but somehow he just gives it straight to Aaron Lennon, who gives it to Kone, which is so frustrating because I didn't mean that. Like, of course, I'm not going to just give it straight to Lennon to Kone. That's extremely frustrating. I didn't mean to do that, which pisses me off a lot. But in the 36th minute, as you can see, Lennon gets on the ball, gives it to Leighton Baines, the English left back. It's in a good cross, and Naismith somehow squeezes the ball in. It's a great volley, a great first touch, and the Scotsman sends the ball into the back of the net, and it's a quick turnaround from Everton to make it 2-1. So well played from Everton, but should have Jamal saved it? Yeah, probably. He can't be beaten from that angle. But in the 40th minute, it would be Marco van Ginkel to take a free kick. The Dutchman nearly scores from it as well if it just goes wide of that top corner. But in the second half, as Lennon gets on the ball, he gives it back to Coleman. The Irishman gives it back to Lennon, so it's a good 1-2 there. And Lennon does really well here as he attacks the defence. He skips past the defence. It's Kone again, and Kone scores. So Kone and Lennon, they've been very good, and they've basically sealed the 3 points for Everton, which it looks like it at now, because I doubt we're going to come back. But as you can see, in the 58th minute, Lennon tried to rub insult into the wounds, and as you can see, he skips past the defence, but it was not failed to clear properly, like usual. Naismith gets under the ball, but it's a simple save for Jamal. And again, later on though, as I bring on Chaloba for Pasalic, we try to get just a goal back, but we're not able to. And as Lennon whips in well, no, doesn't whip it in yet, but he gives it to Gareth Barry. Gareth Barry has a shot, and it just goes wide of that post. So very well defended there from our captain, Kurt Zuma. But from the corner, somehow we let this happen. As Pienaar gives it to Lennon. Lennon, who gives it back to Pienaar. That's a poor tackle there. But somehow he just skips through it. That's poor defending from myself. I don't know what I was on. And again, it forces Jamal into another save. So that's poor. What was I trying to do there with Nathan Acker? I never know. But Jamal should have stopped that, and he did stop it. But in a second, in about 72nd minute, I reckon it is, they whip in a corner, and Romelu Lukaku, the ex-Chelsea boy, scores. And, well, he celebrates, and it was a great header from the Belgian. And, oh no, he doesn't celebrate in the end, which is fair enough, because he obviously used to play for us. Great header, and it's now, 4-1. So, and in the 90th minute, we try to push on for a consolation, I should say. And as Coleman gets on the ball, it's a great challenge from Lucas Pies on the Brazilian. Runs down the wing. He is running out, gives it back to Marco Marin. The German is through here as he gets past Jagielka. Hits the post, but Perica gets his first goal for the club and scores his first goal for the season and for the club. So it was as easy as it gets. I don't know why Tim Howard's so depressed in the background, as you can see. He hit the post, and it was the simplest of finishes. So we're getting some pretty easy tap-ins, to say the least, with our strikers. But I'm not sure who to play out of Perica and Bamford, but that will be decided later. But that is the end of the game, so we lost 4-2. A very disappointing, you could say, but, you know, it was expected. Everton are a quality side, and, they were too good in the end. So Aaron Kone did run all over us. He was brilliant. And potential international management jobs, Ireland and Bulgaria. I'm like, I'm alright, thank you. And we've also going to come, as you see in a minute, game against Manchester City. That's right, the reigning champions, well, at least at this stage of the career mode, because obviously Chelsea in real life are the champions. Yes. And it will be an absolute tough game. Tough game as we travel to the Etihad Stadium to take on arguably the best team in England. So, they've obviously got some great players, and it will be really tough to even get anything out of this game. So we had to, from the start, go for park the bus, really. Park it. As you can see, Etihad Stadium will be hosting Chelsea Football Club, and obviously we need to somehow stop the threat of Aguero, David Silva if he's playing. But as you can see here, Manchester City, they have won 3 and drawn the other, while Manchester United have won all their games. So they've been doing really well. Martin Tyler and Alan Smith are the commentators. I don't know why I really said that, because they commentate every game. So we've been, I wouldn't say underperforming. I think we've been spot on. We took 3 points from Burnley, took 1 from Leicester, which was a disappointing result, I suppose. Well, to get a point out of this game would be a tremendous result. And as you can see by Manchester City's lineup, they will not be starting Aguero. Instead, he must have been injured or transferred away. Instead, they would be starting Bonnie, and David Silva will be getting a start as well. Vidal they bought from Juve, and Godin from Atletico. So some pretty good side to say the least. And here we look at our squad. Wallace will be going back into that right back position. Marco Van Ginkel and Pasalic in the defensive mid positions. But Atsu was injured, so he's out for 2 to 3 weeks, and he doesn't get a start this game. And we will be getting into the game, which could prove out to be a huge game, because Manchester City are a quality side. And in 6th minute, early on here, Bonnie gets on the ball. The Ivorian gives it to Yaya Toure, another Ivorian, who strikes. He gives it to James Milner, who strikes it, and it's a easy save for Jamal Blackman. But in the 28th minute, nothing had really happened, as you can expect, because we didn't really want a win here. We just want a point, and we'll take that. But Sagna does gets hacks Bamford, Bamford, and that's a clear free, no excuses. And Piazon takes a free kick. Here's a great opportunity, but it's straight to keeper. Poor free kick from Lucas Piazon. And it remains 0-0 in the 30th minute mark. But in the 33rd, straight from that, Momo Salah gets on the ball. He fake shots, gets tackled. Ball for Bamford, and Bamford with the acrobatic bicycle kick goes well wide. So that was actually a really good opportunity. He should have even done better. As they were going to have another look at saying this tackle. But as Silva gives it to Bonnie in the 36th minute, Milner strikes it again, but Jamal Blackman saves yet again. So Jamal has been quite good at goalkeeping, apart from that mistake last game. That was my personal mistake. But just before half time, Yaya Toure crosses the ball in from the free kick. Nasri gets up, but headers just wide. So pretty poor game though, but that doesn't matter because that is exactly the sort of game we want. But in the 54th minute, Yaya Toure and James Milner stand over this free kick, and Milner strikes it, hits the post, and Callas tries to get rid of it, although he's not able to, as he gives it back to Milner. David Silva gets on the ball, fake shots, it goes back to Nasri. Nasri shoots, he gives it to Vidal, who somehow, what a block that is, from Thomas Callas, Czech Republican, saves a certain goal, because I don't think Blackman was going to get to it, but Callas did extremely well. And just on the hour mark, Toure gets on the ball, gives it to David Silva, the Spaniard gives it to Bonnie, who hits the post again. So somehow Manchester City have not scored yet. But as Nasri gets on the ball, the Frenchman gives it to David Silva. The little maestro gives it back to Vidal. Vidal tries to curl it, although we are unable to get it clear. Wallace gives it to Jesus Navas, who strikes it, and it's a goal. And finally, in the 68th minute, the deadlock has been broken, and it would be the Spaniard, the ex-Sevilla man, the winger, does get on the ball. I think, as you can see, it was poor defending by me. I should have got it clear, but Wallace made a bit of a mistake, even though his first start for this season, because he had an injury pre-season. But as you can see, I think it was a bit of a mix-up between Wallace and I think that was Callas. But as you can see here by this angle, you could even say Blackman could have saved that. I mean, it goes under him. But, you know, I can't really fault him. He's played very well this game. But in the 90th minute, it looks like Manchester City will be winning. As Vidal gives it to Dzeko. Dzeko gives it back to Nasri. Nasri gives it back to Dzeko. So this Bosnian gives it to David Silva. They're really just holding the ball up, playing well. And we did put in a tackle. Clichy crosses it in. And from this throw-in, Jamal Wood does get onto the ball. He throws it out, and it's Salah on the ball. He gives it to Bertrand Traore. Here is a great chance as the Bertrand gets onto the ball. It's Salah. Here is basically our only attack of the second half. Salah, will he win it to get us a point? Well, it's a great save from Joe Hart, and it remains at 1-0. But we still got a corner to take, and as Marco Marin takes it, the German, the next Messi, crosses it in. It rises. Moses has a strike, save for Joe Hart, and then Van Ginkel, out of all people, from the corner, scores and makes it 1-0. So an amazing turn of events here. We didn't deserve a point without a doubt. Zuma did well, got up, gave it to Van Ginkel, who tucked it in under the keeper. And we do score and rescue a point at Etihad Stadium. Unbelievable scenes. Because, no, we didn't deserve it, but that is a massive point for our confidence and stuff. Because I was extremely happy. And I just parked the bus for the last minute. But as you can see, that would virtually be the last kick of the game. And we would rescue a point at Etihad. So, that is the end of the episode, guys. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a like and subscribe. If you are new to the channel, yeah. And thank you all so much for the support. And I'll try upload 2 times a week or maybe 3. So, thanks, guys. It's nearly my holidays. So, yeah, more uploads and see ya.